The bill in its current form is really bad news for people who have suffered serious injuries in particular, because what's proposed is that we peg local rates to the UK, which aren't inappropriate if looked at properly, but also there's no provision for any challenge to be made to the rates that are being used in the UK. What we're talking about is a very serious issue. It's something that sooner or later is going to affect most people in Gibraltar, unfortunately. It's not something to be looked at quickly. It's not something to be discussed during several weeks. This is something that needs to be investigated so that we ensure that whatever rate is fixed isn't set arbitrarily by reference to another country, but it's something that needs to be done locally and looked at with local expertise so that we protect the people of Gibraltar.
Why are you so concerned about what will happen to the claimant?
The difference is going to be that people who have suffered serious injuries and who need to receive lump sum payments in order to provide for their care and other needs long term are going to have their rewards reduced, which is something that's quite concerning, because people who have suffered serious injuries at birth defects, or people who have suffered catastrophic injuries as a result of clinical negligence or even road traffic accidents face being left without being able to provide for themselves and without being able to pay for care that they'll need in maybe 20, 30, 40 years' time.
So what are your views on the appropriate rates for Gibraltar?
There's been a recent move towards setting rates in particular jurisdictions. So we've got countries like Northern Ireland, Bermuda, St Helier, Jersey, and all of these countries have been looking at what their current circumstances are like and fixing rates that are appropriate to those jurisdictions, so that to simply go along with a UK rate doesn't undertake the exercise that's needed. And where that exercise has been undertaken, for example in Northern Ireland, we've got a difference in rates of about 50%. This is something that has been pushed for in Gibraltar and something that's currently been before the law courts. The difficulty with passing this legislation now is that it's going to remove all of that debate. It's going to take it away from the arena where it can be looked at carefully, so that where judges can take account of economic and other expert evidence in order to take account of what the appropriate rates are in Gibraltar.
Now the bill is set to be discussed in Parliament. What would you like to see happen?
I'd like to call upon our governments to look at this very carefully, to take account of why this bill is being prepared, and really to understand the fact that the people that are going to suffer most are the Gibraltarian people. Our aunties, our grandparents, our brothers, our sisters, those people who suffer really serious injuries in particular are the ones that are going to suffer. And it's hard to see who's going to benefit from limiting awards in these cases.